Hi, my name is Ken. Today I'm going to be showing you how to measure and mark a head using only two tools. You need a tape measure and a China marker. It would be nice to start off with a nice clean head, but as you can clearly see, our head today has been used and abused by our staff. There are only 4 points that you need to know or find on the patient in order to mark a head. It is the nasion, which is right there, basically the bridge of the nose. The onion, which is right there, which is basically at the end of the skull. It's a little bump just at the end of the skull. You run your finger down the back of the head until you feel that. It's also the preauricular creases, which are right here. Obviously they're located on both sides of the head because they're just at the end of the curvature of the ear. First thing you want to do is take your tape measure, and all measurements will be in centimeters. We're going to measure from the nasion all the way to the onion, and this figure is 32 centimeters. The first mark that you're going to make, you're going to take 10% of that mark, which is 3.2 centimeters. So you're going to come up 3.2 and make a line across the tape. And in the back of the head, come up 3.2 and again make a line across the tape. After you've made those two marks, try to let you see a little bit better here. This mark will be known as FPZ, and your mark in the back will be known as OZ. The measurement between the two is 25 centimeters. So what we're going to do is we're going to take half of 25 centimeters, which will be 12.5. Make a line again across the tape. And then between these 2 points, half of 12.5 is 6 1/4. So you're going to come up to 6 1/4 and mark across. And we're going to do the same for the back of the head. You're going to come up from OZ to right up here, which is now known as CZ. Mark across the tape at 6 1/4. The next step, you're going to measure from preauricular crease all the way across the top of the head to the other side, and we get 29 centimeters. Half of 29 is 14.5. And I'm making a mark just across the top, which is now known as CZ. In order to obtain a mark or a point on the head, you have to have two lines, basically an XY axis. The head is kind of marked out as a grid. After we've made our mark up there, and we've remembered that it is 29 centimeters from preauricular crease to preauricular crease, place our tape again at the crease, and we take 10% of 29, which is 2.9, and we come up and we make a mark. That mark is generally always going to be just above the ear. And we're going to do the same for the other side. Next thing we're going to do is the two marks that you just made above the ear. Place your tape and measure between them. That measurement is 24 centimeters. And it should coincide with the line that you've already made on the top of the head, which is CZ. You're going to take the measurement between here and CZ, which is going to be 12 centimeters, and you're going to make a mark half of that, which will be 6, right across there. We're going to do the other side. Half of 12 again is 6. After you've made those marks, the next step is to do the circumference. And what you can do here is, so that you have a nice line to go by, you can look down the patient's nose and draw a line right across there, which again is FPZ. That way it gives you a marking point. Take your tape, bring it all the way around, making sure to pass through the OZ, which was in the back, and your lines to the side right here, just above the ears. That measurement is 46 centimeters. You're then going to take 10% of that, which is 4.6, half of 4.6 is 2.3. So you want to put that just across the head, just like that. You're going to make a mark right here at 4.6 and a mark right here at 0. Those marks will be known as FP1 and FP2. As a rule of thumb, the odd numbers represent the left side of the head and the even numbers represent the right side of the head. After you've made that mark, you're going to take your tape and place it at FP1, and you're going to come across the line that you've made above the ear. The measurement that we came out with was 446, 10% of which is 4.6 centimeters. So then you're going to go over 4.6 and make a mark, again through the tape, and you can actually slide the tape over, and from that mark make another one, 4.6, and again 4.6, and back here 4.6. The only marks that you can assume on the head is an imaginary line all the way around. And what you can do in order to make sure that your lines are accurate and straight is you can take the tape measure and place it halfway around the head, or as far as your hands will reach. Make a line just below the tape or just above. The key is to be consistent. Don't go below the tape here and above the tape here. Keep it the same. Below the tape, below the tape. And what you're doing is you're crossing those lines that you've just drawn, just like so. Now you end up with your XY axis. And we're going to do the other side. .6, 4.6, 4.6, and again 4.6. You want to do the same again. Take your tape, place it, and make your cross marks. Now you can start to see a clear line all the way around the head. The next step you can start at the front or the back. It doesn't really matter which part you start at, as long as you get them both done. Now at your cross point here, you're going to place the tape making sure to pass through this line right up here, which will become FZ, and all the way around to the other side. And our measurement is 20 centimeters, half of which is 10. And then between these 2 points right here, half of 10 is 5. Do the same on the other side. Now we move to the back of the head. You have your points here just behind the ears. Those are T5 and T6. And again, we come up with 20 centimeters. Your measurements are not always going to be the same at the front of the head and the back of the head. Half of which is 10. And then between these 2 points, half of that is 5. And again, on the other side. The next step is to take your tape measure, and you start at the front of the head at FP1, and you go all the way across to the back of the head, which this is now known as O1. We have O1 and O2.